So what is the Facebook Ads MBA program? Let me tell you. Facebook Ads MBA program is an immersive experience covering 3 core areas. Now, the biggest part about this is it's not just going to teach you how to be a better Facebook ads manager than 90% of the people on the planet. That's a given. But you're really getting CMO training. So you can be a marketing director, business owner, and really take control of your future so that you see more success and less stress, so that you can better project manage your team and your time for profit. And what's most important about this is that ultimately what you get is not only confidence, but work-life balance and scale and success. That's the real big thing here. More success with less stress by using easily repeatable, proven systems and process for a standard operating procedure that ultimately means that you can bring in people and on several days training, they'll be able to handle 90% of the day-to-day operations of your business so that you can get down to the critical thinking that sets you apart from everybody else. At the end of the day, Facebook should only take a couple hours a week. And at that level, whether it's $50 a day or $50,000 a day or more, that is a realistic expectation. Let's eliminate useless phone calls. Let's get rid of stupid emails. Let's make sure that we improve transparency and accountability in a way that is standardized for every single account so that every single team member knows exactly what everybody else is doing. There's built-in duplicity of skill set so that you are ultimately not required to be there every day for your business to be successful and improve on your behalf. Now, the Facebook Ads MBA program is built on 3 core parts. The first part is direct support. Every single week, we have Q&A calls. Every single week, there is a lecture and discussion. And why this is important is it means the curriculum is dynamic. The oldest lecture in the program is from a week ago. And we'll show that in a bit. There's actually an archive, itemized and time-stamped by every single topic of discussion, as well as every single question that everybody's had. So you can get answers to your questions, solutions to your problems for people just like you that have been there before you so that you can lean on the strengths of others just like you. And that's the really amazing thing. And that leads us to part number 2 of the program, which is the community. And what's great about the community is there's dozens of folks from around the world just like you. Brand owners, agency owners, entrepreneurs, media buyers, folks trying to conquer their 7 or 8, 9-figure business and truly take it to the next level, and folks trying to change their life so that they too can achieve a 6-figure income on part-time work. Because honestly, like I said, Facebook ads should not take more than a few hours a week. And if you have a standard operating procedure with documentation, visibility, accountability, transparency, and a standard operating procedure that is easily repeatable and scalable, then you don't need to be there every step of the way for the business to get better and better and better. And that's part of the key of this, so that you can truly do the things that set you apart, so that you can leverage your skill sets. Now, what's great is everybody in the program came to the program really good at a few things. And what's great, more than anything, is those really good things that what they are really, really good at often is not the same thing. So it means there are complementary skill sets, whether it's copywriting or development, creative or brand building, whether or not you're trying to run an agency, an 8-figure business, or just try to get a few more accounts so that you as a media buyer can easily make $10,000 a month and work part-time and quit that day job, right? Whatever that looks like for you, there are plenty, dozens of other people exactly like you that have already done this. And you can not only lean on them in the community, but you're also going to see every question everybody's ever had and all of the answers for them. And what's great about this community, unlike almost every other community that's available, is it's not I got a 10x ROAS, let me show you how I did it, which is basically somebody bragging about some out of context thing that's completely not repeatable. It's also not an environment where people are in there saying, I'm having a hard time on Facebook. Are you having a hard time? Yeah, me too. Cool. because that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't help anyone. You don't learn from that. Instead, you're surrounding yourself with other people who are winning. And what's great about this is the problem that you are having right now, there's almost certainly somebody else, probably dozens of people that have had a very similar problem. So when you go and say, I'm facing a problem doing X, Y, and Z in our standard operating procedure of repeatable systems and process, going over every discipline that we're going to cover here when we get to the curriculum in just a minute, there are other folks that can walk you through every step of the way. Now, the beautiful thing about all of this is when you join the MBA program, you get lifetime access to these weekly calls as well as the community. There's no monthly fee. There's no gotcha thing. There's no upsells. When you're a part of this, you're a part of it. And I did that honestly because I've been in training programs. I've taken mastermind groups. I've done the whole course thing. I've done all of that guru stuff. Absolutely. I've gone through training and it definitely made me better. But the problem was when they started to charge you for that, what do? You feel alienated. And what I ended up doing in those, by the way, was I just made my own group. And I brought everybody from the paid group over to my free one, and we just worked it out. So why not bake that into it? Now, that being said, there are also little clubs inside of the group. There's some folks that get together every Tuesday. There's a WhatsApp group for like European media buyers. I'm pretty sure I just heard the other day that there's like a Telegram group for lead gen folks in Africa and Asia. It's incredible. Because ultimately, this is a community of alumni, people just like you that are willing to make a significant investment in themselves and their business. So that being said, let's dive into the program. Let's get into the last part, which is the curriculum. This is the Facebook Ads MBA program. When you get in here, you get a few eBooks to get started, just to lay the groundwork so you understand the vernacular and the language and the concepts and the ethos. We also have the Facebook Ads MBA program community. You go here, you click the button, it pops up a link to Facebook, you hit join, and you're inside the group with dozens of other advertisers just like you around the world, business owners, media buyers, entrepreneurs, everybody else running Facebook ads, whether it's at $50 a day or 50,000 a day or more. So inside of here, we have a lot of sections. We're going to go through a bit of this right now. First, we have the intro section, just so you can know what to expect when you're in the program. Now, from this, we're going to dive into a lot of things, but just so that we make sure that we get the foundation. Now, we have these nice little buttons at the bottom that are going to guide us through everything in chronological order. So the first thing we need is a mindset. We need to know what's our winning formula? What's our mission statement? What are we really trying to get done? So it's not just showing up to work every day, but more importantly, how do we make sure that what we are doing every day gets the bigger task done so we continue to move the business forward? Next, we have intro to measurement. This is audit and Scrum. This is the famous Scrum doc. Now what we have here is you're going to get an ebook. You've got an example data set in your Scrum doc starter. Now, when you click this button, it's going to open up something and it looks exactly like this. This is a filled out Scrum doc for you to be able to look at. All the formulas are here, everything that you need in order to understand what's going on. Now, this is already filled out for you. And what's most important is you're going to see me actually fill this entire thing out from scratch. You also get the example data set so that you can sit and make exactly what's going on in the screen, exactly the exact same time, exactly the same way. Now, what's great about this is you understand what data to pull, but we also go into the Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to teach you how to look through this Excel spreadsheet, what data to look at, and also how to make pivot tables. You're getting a full-on college-level Excel spreadsheet course just to make sure that you know how to work all of this stuff. And then we go through step by step through the Scrum doc so you can really understand trend analysis, how to use this tool, and everything else. Plus, you get screenshots to tell you how to pull the report so you can get this exact same data, but for your business. And like every math class, I'm going to show you how to do the stuff on the board, and you can do it right alongside, and the answers are in the back of the book. And by the time this video is done, you're going to be able to do an audit and a Scrum on every account by yourself on all of your own businesses. Plus, we've got additional lectures. These are hour-long Q&As with previous students. So it's not just the what, the why, and the how, but we're also talking about 3 hours of practical application with real-world examples and real students trying to apply this situation to all of their businesses, whether it's lead gen, direct to consumer, whether they're the entrepreneur or the media buyer, whether they're an ad agency or just somebody trying to change their life. And this is what every one of these courses is really built around inside of the MBA program. You get documentation with a walkthrough. You also get 3 hours of lecture. Sometimes there's additional material here as well. Previous students ask, like, hey, do you have YouTube videos to let me dive more into this? Yeah, here's a YouTube video to help you analyze all of your results. Here's just the origin of where all of this stuff comes from. At the bottom of this, we have a next button, which takes us to the optimization and simplification lesson. Again, here's a great doc. You click on that. It's going to open up to our optimization log, which is really simple. Yeah, and that's a good thing, because it means that it's really easy for anybody to read. Very simple doc. And we're going to go through how to use this document and really take action off the information that we have. Here's that Scrum doc, right? Now let's use the only information that we have here, because it's only the actionable information that we need. And it's all of the actionable information that we need to start making serious plans. What does that look like? We get into strategic testing. How are we going to do that? We get into all sorts of planning throughout the whole business. We're starting to get into understand how Facebook works. We get into the cost averaging. We get into the simplification. We get into how the algorithm actually functions so that you can begin to improve your CPA, so that you can begin to truly scale your business, and how a control campaign works, and why fewer moving options actually helps you grow. Inside of this, we also have, again, 3 more lectures, just like you saw before. Every single one of them has this. We also have an additional ebook here, which you click this button and hit download. There's also here a deck from the Facebook Disruptor Group on how we built $100 million brands. This is a deck called Structure for Scale. It's nearly 100 pages. And it's what we did to grow brands like 310 Nutrition, Match Group, Smile Direct Club, Purple Mattresses, Movement Watches, etc. And so that you can see what that mountaintop looks like. So when you're trying to actually build, you have an idea of where you're supposed to go. Again, more lectures and again, more resources. We won't be diving too much more into all this stuff because I think you get the example. We get into Golden Bear. Yeah, it's right here. We get a great video to walk you through it. This is 40 minutes walking you through all of the documentation, explanation of the what, the why, the how of using everything. You grab your doc. We also have screenshots here so you can understand exactly what the ad is supposed to look like. We also get into here of lectures to give you more and more context, additional video resources around creative testing, dynamic creative. There's a lot of really great info in here. And really what we also have is not just that, we also get all of the lectures from the community. And we get all of this in a searchable archive. Say I want to know more about dynamic creative testing. I can type in DCT, search, and look at that. I've got 14 versions of it just in the last 6 months of conversations, DCTs and carousels, how to grab the post ID, DCTs to proving ground, what's the ideal number, all of this stuff. These are all links to shoot you to a video. You can scrub to that moment in time. This is literally every one of these videos is an hour or more of direct lecture and Q&A. Because this isn't just about pre-recorded courses from somebody that doesn't care about you, that did it a few years ago, that's never going to answer your questions. We have Ecosystem ROAS, which is measurement, 2 dedicated courses just to that. We have Golden Bear, which is 2 dedicated courses just to creative testing. We also have Success Protocol, which is 5 dedicated lectures and courses on documentation, standard operating procedures, system and processes for repeatable results. And so this becomes a dynamic curriculum that updates every single week, that's itemized and searchable, where you get 20 to 30-minute lectures, and then sometimes over an hour of Q&A from all of the previous students, so you can have real insight into not only how you're supposed to solve this problem, but how other people are looking at things. We have this brand new section here, interviews and guest lectures. We've got guest lectures from previous students like Daniel Ramley. We've got stuff from Sarah Levinger. We've got stuff from Glenn Rudin. Daniel goes on to talk about some of his creative testing strategies. Sarah goes into consumer psychology. Glenn goes into brand positioning. And we have more guest lectures happening all the time. We also have great additional resources. 10 additional ebooks. Each one of them comes with its own dedicated lecture. So the ebook now becomes a PowerPoint deck to give you even more information, page by page, step by step, to hold your hand from day one to success. And here we have the mindset section as well, making sure that you know this winning formula and your winning statements. But in addition to all of this stuff and all of these wonderful lectures and everything, we also have the How to Build a Winning Facebook Ad Account course itself. This is a direct-to-camera lecture series. If you were to take a class from me at your college, this is an entire semester, okay? So this is why you should centralize ad spend. These are 30 to 45-minute long lectures where we've got notes for you and homework. There's 10 of them. So you have all of that. Plus, you get one-on-one meeting links. Plus, you get discounts to Disruptor School Slack community. Plus, you get discounts on every other ebook from FacebookDisruptor.com. So ultimately, what you have is an intro to make sure that you're not lost. You have a community link right away so you can join the dozens of folks from around the world just like you. You've got over an hour per lecture and one every week going back months and months and months with a searchable archive to solutions to your problems. We have guest lectures and interviews. We have additional resources like the library and lecture series where you pull in from the ebooks with video walkthroughs, the ebook archive, as well as documentation. Here is a link to every single document from every single one of the courses so that you can make a centralized dashboard to start from day one to apply to every ad account that you are operating so that every single member of your team is using the exact same tools with the exact same language and the exact same disciplines, which means that in a couple of days, anybody can take over any task that's being currently done inside the Facebook system, and any employee that you have can take over any other discipline in any other account. This is what we're really talking about here. Standardized, scalable, repeatable, standard operating procedures, systems, and practices so that you can ultimately have high confidence and get you to not trying to react to yesterday, but ultimately being able to plan for tomorrow, next week, next month, and really focus in on what the future can look like for your business in a way that doesn't need you to work, because literally anybody can come in here and do it. Also, access to this is 100% lifetime, no monthly fee. You also can give access to this to anybody on your team. And every week, this grows with new lectures. Every month, there are new interviews and guest lectures. There are constantly new resources for you, so it's not just something that you bought on a swipe file. It is every single week you get a new lecture. Every single week you get FaceTime with me to get answers to your questions in a video format, where if you need to share your screen, not only do you get an answer from me, but you also get to be exposed to the rest of the community, and you get to see their questions and answers and get help from other folks from around the world. This is the Facebook Ads MBA program. So all that being said, really come down to the part where you can ask yourself a couple of questions. What are the biggest problems that you're facing right now? What have you done to already try to fix it that's kind of let you down? Where do you want to go? What does 6 to 12 months from now look like? And why is that really important to you? What is success for you in particular? And the really important thing is, what's keeping you from getting there on your own? And why is this important now? The honest truth is, you can probably get there on your own. Maybe you can. But do you want to? Is it a good investment for you to right now shave months or years of stress and heartache and failure? The opportunity of having a support network from folks around the world for you to lean on for the rest of your career. If the answer to that is, I want that, I want it now, then the Facebook Ads MBA program is probably perfect for you.